I've been wanting to complete Vim Tutor for a long time. I always start it, but I never finish it. So that's what I'm doing in this video. I'm going to run Vim Tutor from start to finish and see if I can learn some new tips and tricks. So in case you have never done it, let's do it together and let's see what we can learn. Alright, so the first thing that I need to do is make sure that tutor is not disabled. Notice that in lazyvim by default, it is disabled. This is not my configuration file, this is the default lazyvim one, and you can see there that tutor is under disabled plugins. So in case that you're using lazyvim, just make sure that it's not disabled first. My lazy.lua file is this one. This is for my neobean distribution, and notice that I commented this line, so I should have tutor available. Okay, so let's open tutor first. If we come here to the command line, then we just need to type tutor with uppercase T, hit enter there, and it's gonna bring it up. I'm not gonna read the whole thing. I'll stop in the stuff that I don't know. Okay, for now, make sure that your caps lock is off and press the J enough times to move the cursor so that lesson 0 completely fills the screen. Notice that I cannot, because I have hard time enabled, so I cannot press J or K a lot of times because hard time shows up there and lets me know. So just for this tutorial, I'm just going to disable hardtime.nvim. Here is the plugin, just gonna open it, and I'm just going to set enabled to false. I'm just going to restart Neovim, and I'm just going to open tutor from here. Tutor. Now we can leave J pressed, and we can go down for as long as we want. The first thing we see here is that if you press escape and you can undo the last change, just in case you didn't know about that. You can hit enter on links like this to open the linked help section, or you can type uppercase K on any word to find its documentation. To close the help window, you can do :Q and then enter. So I'm just going to hit enter here. It opens this. lazyvim has a command leader WD to close this window, but let's do it the right way. So that should be :Q, enter, and it closes that little window at the bottom. Okay, so the red sign on the left means that we have to fix it until it shows green like this. Other times you'll be asked to enter a command or press a sequence of keys. Okay, so let's move to the next lesson here. All right, so to move the cursor, K, J, H, L. So if you don't know the basics, make sure to practice that. I would say that is the most difficult part, getting used to H, J, K, L. Do not move stuff around. Just use the 4 keys, H, J, K, L, and use them correctly. And eventually you'll get used to it. Okay, so hold J until it repeats. Exiting Neovim. You have to press escape to make sure you're in normal mode. We're in normal mode right now. We can see that here at the bottom left corner of my Neovim, right here, it says normal. We're gonna type here :Q, exclamation mark. So this is to quit. Then we're just going to jump right back in. We open Neovim first, command, which is : we type tutor, hit enter. We're gonna go down to where we were, which is here, step 4. Execute the steps. Okay, we did that already. This is to discard the changes. Let's move on to lesson 1.3. Press X to delete the character under the cursor. Okay, so let's do that right now. I'm just using J and K right now, okay? The cow. Okay, I cannot jump words at the moment. Over the moon. Okay, turned green on the left. Text editing, lesson 1.4. Move the cursor on top of the first character after where the text is to be inserted. So let's move the cursor to the first character, which is here. We're gonna type I, some text missing. Okay, we're missing here. They're missing this. Missing from this line. I'm using W and I can't, but I'll try to avoid that. Lesson 1.5, text appending. Okay, so now uppercase A to append text. Notice that it doesn't matter where I am here. If I'm here and I type just uppercase A, I can start typing because that's going to move me to the very end of the line. This line, okay? A dot. There's also some text miss. I'm going to type here uppercase A, and I can type this and green. We're good. Editing a file, WQ to write file and quit. Read the entire lesson before you do this. It says there, if you have access to another terminal, do the following there. The good thing is that we have Tmux, so I can create another Tmux session. In my case, that is with Control B, C, that creates another Tmux session. So I'm just going to be doing that there. Let me switch back. At the shell prompt, type this command, nvim tutor. Okay, so that is just going to be the name of the file. Insert and delete text as you learned in the previous lesson. Save the file with changes and exit Neovim with WQ. Okay, so let's switch to this other Tmux session, nvim tutor. Oh, hold on. To open Neovim in my case is just v tutor. So that opens it here. I'm gonna type I to insert text here. I'm just testing out tutor, just adding some text. Let's go back and let's see what it says now. WQ to write and quit. So let's do that. Just going to switch back here. Colon. That brings up the command line. WQ, write and quit. That saved the file. Let's see. Cat tutor. So there's the file. Okay, so it says here, after reading and understanding the above steps, do them. I didn't have to quit because I created another Tmux session. Just in case you don't know what Tmux is and how to use it, I have this video, posted it 7 months ago. I explain everything in detail there, so just go and check it out. Lesson 1 summary. Okay, so we learned about HJKL. To start Neovim from the shell prompt, type this in the file name. To exit, we have two options, without saving changes and saving the changes. To delete the character with X, I use that all the time. Insert and append with the capital A. Pressing escape will place you in normal mode. Okay, so if we're in insert mode here, we press escape. That is just going to bring us back to normal mode. Let's move on to lesson 2 then. Deletion commands. Type DW to delete a word. Okay, so let's do that. There are some words, fun, I think this one, that don't belong, paper, maybe this one, in this sentence. Oh, there's an A there, DW. Okay. Repeat steps 3 and 4 until the sentence is correct and go to lesson 2.2. More deletion commands. The $sign to delete to the end of the line. Move the cursor to the end of the correct line after the first dot. Okay, so I guess that's here. The $sign to delete to the end of the line. I just remapped all my symbols with Kanata, so it's not easy for me to type symbols at the moment. But let's do it. So it's D and $sign. Oh, I think I'm missing a character. Let's undo this. I'm just going to type U here. I'm going to place myself here in the white space. I'm going to type here D, $sign, and that's it. Move on to lesson 2.3 to understand what is happening. On operators and motions. The motion, D is the delete operator. Motion is the operator will operate on a short list of motions. S until the start of the next word, excluding its first character. E to the end of the current word. $sign to the end of the line, including the last character. If you type DE, we'll delete from the cursor to the end of the word. Pressing just the motion while in normal mode without an operator will move the cursor as specified. So if I type W, it's going to move it. If I type E, notice that it's just going to move it as well. Lesson 2.4, using a count for a motion. Type a number before a motion repeats it that many times. Okay, so let's move the cursor here to the start of this line. Type 2W to move the cursor 2 words forward. Okay, so let's do it. 2W. Type 3E to move the cursor to the end of the third word forward. 3E. Okay. Type 0 to move to the start of the line. Okay, so let's type 0 here. Nice. Move on to lesson 2.5. I had completely forgotten about 0. I never use it because I have two other key maps. If I type GL, takes me to the end of the line. GH takes me to the beginning of the line. So I just got used to them. But if I type 0, works as well. So that's nice. Using a count to delete more. Move the cursor to the first uppercase word in the line marked X. Okay, so I guess that is here. And then we're going to type D2W to delete the two uppercase words. Okay, so D2W means delete two words. D2W, deleted them. Repeat steps 1 and 2 with a different count to delete the consecutive uppercase words with one command. Okay, so let's position ourselves here. How many words do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so D5W, deleted 5 words. Now let's position ourselves here. We have 3 words. D3W, and that seems cleaned up to me, but I don't know why it shows red. Let's undo. Okay, so undid that. Okay, so I deleted the off. I deleted one more word. So here I have to delete only 4. D4W. Okay, let's move here. D3W. Okay, there we go. Lesson 2.6, operating on lines. Type the D to delete a whole line. Okay, so move to the second line here. So here we're just gonna type the D to delete this line. Then the fourth one, it says here, and we're gonna type 2DD to delete two lines. 2DD. Okay, nice. And then we're just gonna type U twice to undo all three lines. Okay, press U to undo the last commands, and uppercase U to fix a whole line. I have never used uppercase U. What is that about? We're gonna see. Move the cursor to the line with the X here. Place it on the first error. Okay, so I guess that is this I. X to delete the first unwanted character. Now type U to undo the last command executed. This time fix all the errors on the line using the X command. Okay, fix the errors on this line and replace them with undo. Okay, so that fixed all of them. Now type a capital U to return the line to its original state. U? Oh, interesting, okay. I didn't know about that. So it acts on the entire line, so you don't have to be pressing U a lot of times. That's nice. Now type Control R a few times to redo the commands, but that doesn't work for me. If I type U, it's going to undo the undo that I did. So I guess that's what I have to do. Not sure, but okay, let's move on. To delete from the cursor up to the next word, type DW. To delete from the cursor to the end of the line, the $sign, the D, delete two words. The format for a change command is operator number motion. Operator, what to do, D for delete, number, motion, okay? To move to the start of the line, use a 0, undo all the changes in the line, and to redo, Control R, okay? The put command. Type P to put previously deleted text after the cursor. Okay, so let's move here. Type the D to delete the line and store it in a Neovim register. Move the cursor to the line C, which is here. Okay, so this is above where the deleted line should go. So I'm just going to type P here, and that puts it below. Repeat steps 2 through 4 to put all the lines in the correct order. Okay, so I have A, gonna delete it, put it here, then C, put it down there, and D down there. A, B, C, D. Okay. You can also put the text before the cursor with uppercase P. Type RX to replace the character at the cursor with X. Okay, so let's move this to the line that is incorrect. And we're just going to fix it when, okay, so this A should be an E. So it says here that I type R, then the letter that I want to replace that with, which is the letter E. Fix that. When this lime, okay, here, RN to replace that. And then here, type, okay, so here is a P typed in someone pressed. Okay, so here are some wrong keys. Okay, I use R all the time to fix stuff like this. So pretty useful actually. Move on to the next lesson. Remember that you should be learning by doing, not memorizing. To change until the end of a word, type CE. Okay, so let's move our cursor to the first line that is incorrect. So it's here. Place the cursor on the U in loop. Okay, here. Type CE and correct word. In this case, type ein. Okay, so CE, ein. Okay, has a few words here. Notice where I place my cursor in the stuff that is written incorrectly. CE, words. Okay, that need. The entire word is incorrect. So I place my cursor at the beginning of the word. CE, need. Changing, using. I just place my cursor here. CE, using the change operator. Okay. Notice that CE deletes the word and places you in insert mode. Yeah, I use C all the time as well. CW or CE. So here I did CW. Let's just undo this. More changes using C. The change operator is used with the same motions as delete. Okay, so move to the first line below marked X here. Type C $sign and type the rest of the line like the second and press escape. The end of this line needs here. I'm just going to start from here. C, and then the $sign, which is here, to be corrected using the C $sign command. Okay, good. You can use backspace key to correct mistakes while typing. So if you're in insert mode here and you type something incorrectly, you can just use the regular backspace the way that I'm doing here, just in case that you didn't know that, just in case this is new for you. So here is the summary. P to put or to paste, but remember that it pastes the text after the cursor. If you do it with uppercase P, it puts it above or before the cursor. To replace with R, that is just for a single character. The change operator. The nice thing about the change operator is that it leaves you in insert mode. So once you type it, you stay in insert mode and you can start typing. The format for change is shown here. And let's move on to the next lesson. Cursor location and file status. Type Control G to show your location in a file and the file status. Okay, so this is new to me. Let's type Control G. Okay, so it shows me there the file path, the line that I'm on, and the percentage. Let's type it again, Control G. Let's type it again, Control G. Why doesn't it show anymore? I don't know. Let's try on this line below, Control G. Okay, so it shows it there, column 64. If I type it again here, it doesn't work, but if I go to the line above, Control G, okay, good. My Neovim config already shows me the path, so if I bring this up, you're gonna notice that is the path that is shown here at the top. It doesn't show the entire thing here on my screen, but it does show the name of the file. Let's see, Control G, Vim01 beginner tutor. Yep, the line number, I can see the line number here on the left, line 467 in this case, shown here out of 1,000 lines. Okay. Also, it says here, control, hold it, and then press G, that is Control G. The message that shows at the bottom, file name and position in the file. Okay. Remember the line number for step 3. You may see the cursor position in the lower right corner of the screen. This happens when the ruler option is set. Okay, so press G to move you to the bottom of the file. Type GG to move you to the start of the file. Type the number of the line you were on and then type uppercase G. This will return you to the line you were on when you first pressed Control G. What? Type the number of the line you were on and then uppercase G, okay? This will return you to the line you were on when you first pressed Control G. Okay, so if I'm in here on line 481, right? So if I press Control G, I can see that I'm on line 481. Let's say that I didn't know that I'm on line 481, but I know because I see it here on the left-hand side, right? So if I want to come back to line 481, I can type 481 and then uppercase G. So let's type GG. That's going to take me to the very top of the file. So here, if I want to go back to that line, I can type 481 uppercase G. And it's going to take me to that specific line. Okay, good, good, good. What if I want to go to line 400? So 400 uppercase G takes me to line 400. Okay, good. Let's jump back here. The search command. Type this slash / followed by a phrase to search for the phrase. Okay, now type error, enter, and we're gonna search for that. Okay, so ERRROOR, we're gonna hit enter. To search for the same phrase again, simply type N. To search for the same phrase in the opposite direction, just type uppercase N. To search for a phrase in the backward direction, use question mark instead of /. To go back to where you came from, press Ctrl O. When the search reaches the end of the file, it will continue at the start unless the wrap scan option has been reset. Okay, so if I type the letter N here, it's just gonna search forward. Notice the line number I'm on here, 493, 504. Okay, so I'm just jumping between these two lines. If I type uppercase N, it's just going to go backwards. Lowercase n is just going to go forward. The other thing that it says there, I'm just going to hit escape, is that if I want to search backwards, I can type the question mark. So let's type that. This brings up the search command. I'm just going to use the up arrow to retype the same word that I typed the last time. I'm going to hit enter here. So now when I type in, it should go back instead of forward. And if I type the uppercase N, it's gonna go backwards. Okay, good. I'm just gonna hit escape here. To go back where you came from, press Control O. So Control O. If I press it again, Control O is gonna take me back here. You still don't know this, but if you type Control I, you can jump forward. I created a video a month ago in which I talk about the jump list, and it's the one shown here. In case you want to learn more, go and check it out. Matching parentheses search. Type percentage to find a matching symbol. So place the cursor on any of these symbols in the line below marked with this. Okay, so let's place the cursor here. And if we type the percentage symbol, the cursor is going to move between the matching symbol for that open parenthesis. Notice that I'm just typing percentage here, and it's just jumping between those two symbols, the opening and the closing symbol. Let's move our cursor to here and let's type the symbol again. Notice that now it's moving between these two only. Let's move here and let's press it, and we can see that it's just moving between these two, and the same thing here as well. Okay, so that's pretty useful, especially if you program or if you're a developer. I think you're gonna love that. The substitute command. Okay, I never use these, to be honest, because I use a specific plugin, and that is the plugin shown here, grug-far.nvim search and replace. It's a really powerful tool. It's amazing. You definitely should use it as well, and it's definitely one of my favorite plugins. Go and check the video out, but it's always good to know the basics as well. Just like Thorsten said, in case that you're in an airplane and you need to defuse a bomb and you only have Vim with the stock commands, you need to run this. Pretty useful stuff. So let's move the cursor to the line here. I'm just gonna move it to the beginning. I don't think it matters. And I'm going to type here :S. Now I'm going to type the old word, what I'm going to substitute THEE. Then I'm going to type another slash. I'm gonna type the new word THE, then a slash at the end. Notice the note that is 9 lines above. Here you can see relative line numbers, 9 lines above is this. The S command only changed the first match of the in the line. So that's why only this one is highlighted. But if now we type this /G, I already typed slash, so I'm just gonna type a G there at the end. Notice that all of them are selected. I'm not sure why it doesn't show the G there in my command, but trust me, it's there. So I'm just gonna hit enter here. Adding the G flag means to substitute globally in the line. Change all occurrences of the in the line. Okay, we already did that. Good. To change every occurrence of a character string between two lines, type this, where the pound symbols are the line numbers of the range of lines where the substitution is to be done. So for example, 1,3 means from lines 1 to 3 inclusive. Okay, so let's go here. Okay, so it doesn't tell me to do it here, but it just gives you the instructions. Notice that if you want to change every occurrence in the entire file, you do it this way. You use the G flag at the end, but you also use this percentage symbol at the beginning. So it's pretty similar to what we saw before, but you just add this percentage. That is going to add it in the entire file. And there's another example here. To find every occurrence in the whole file with the prompt whether to substitute or not, you add this C character at the end. Same as 6 lines above, but with the letter C. So it's just not going to replace everything, but every time it finds a match, it's going to ask you if you want to replace that or not, and then move on to the next occurrence. Notice the note here. You can also select the lines you want to substitute first using visual mode. This will be explained more in a future lesson. Okay, so the lesson summary. Control G shows the location and the file status. This is to move to the end of the file. Number G moves to that line number. GG moves to the very first line, to the very top. This is to search forward. This is to search backwards. Control O takes you to the older positions. Control I to newer positions. Okay, so that's what I mentioned a few minutes ago. Control I moves you forward, and Control O back, or is it the other way around? Doesn't matter, but those are the two directions. The percentage, we already saw what this is. To substitute, notice that this only works for the first occurrence in a line. This is for all the occurrences in a single line. This is to do it between two different lines. So you specify the line numbers there. The percentage at the beginning is for the whole file. Remember that you need to add the G at the very end. And to ask for confirmation, you add the letter C at the end. How to execute an external command. Type colon question mark followed by an external command to execute that command. Okay, so let's try this. Let's just move down here. And step 1, type this colon to bring up this command line. Now I'm just going to type here an exclamation mark. Okay, so this shows up. You may not see it on my screen because of the way that my color scheme is configured, but there's a small border there in the background. I may need to fix it, but you can see it there. As an example, type ls following the exclamation mark and just hit enter. ls, hit enter, and notice that I can see all my directories down there. It is possible to execute any external command this way, and you can include arguments, okay? All commands are executed when you press enter. How do you jump to the pane that is down there in case that you want to close it? Just gonna type Control J. In my specific case, that's the way that it works for me. And here you could type :Q exclamation mark to close it. But in my configuration, which is lazyvim, if I type letter W D, that closes that small window. If you want to follow along this tutorial using my Neobean configuration, it is available. You can download it, use it. I have this video in which I explain how to install multiple configurations, including mine, so you can go and check it out. Alright, so I'm going to split this in two videos because it's going to be way too long. So I'm going to stop here at lesson 5.2. And if you want me to continue with Vim Tutor in another video, please let me know down in the comments. That helps the algorithm, if you leave comments, YouTube thinks that people like the video. So just make sure to share it and all that stuff. And also, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you like the channel and if you want to receive notifications when I post other videos, make sure to subscribe as well. If you like my content, consider becoming a YouTube member. I'm going to leave the link in the video description so you can join there. I release most of my videos first to members, but then they're released to everyone else, so don't worry about that. If you're on macOS and you don't have Neovim installed yet, go and check the video that is going to be showing up here. And remember that if you already have Neovim installed but would like to try my configuration, go and check this video down here. That's it for today. I hope you learned something new. I'll see you in the next video.